The Derek Carr news is no surprise to you. He informed the Raiders he won't accept a trade to the Saints.
So let's figure out why. So why would he do that? So, I know that quote will get all the analysis, right? He won't accept the trade, but nobody will analyze why is he saying that. The reason he's saying that isn't because he doesn't like the teams. The reason he's saying that is he wants to create his own market, right? So if he trades himself, if he agrees a trade to another team, he has to agree on a contract to restructure.
Okay.
And that limits what his value would be. So he goes out and spends 2 days in New Orleans, and let's just hypothetically say New Orleans says, we're going to pay you, we would only do a deal $30 million a year, $60 million for 2, and we'll guarantee $35 million of it. Okay, let's say that. And I want more than that. Well, that's all we can do. That's all the cash we're going to outlay. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that deal. So once he realizes that he can't get the market that he wants from a team that he would go to, if you're not flying to New Orleans and spending 2 days because you're not interested there. That this became a money thing. This became, okay, I can't get the deal I want, so now I have to become a free agent to find out if the deal I want is even out there. Right? And then I want 2 teams competing against one another for my services to then raise the deal. This is about cash. It's not about a cap number. He wants to make cash, and so he'll let the team structure the deal. Why he was perfect for New Orleans. New Orleans say, okay, we'll give you this deal. We'll get him in a friendly cap number. Here's all the cash we're willing to spend. So this is all about how do I maximize my cash return.
He has a relationship, I'm assuming, wasn't Allen with the Raiders when they drafted him?
Briefly. He got fired in season, right? He got fired in season on that year. So
what is the reason or impetus for the Saints being all over Carr?
Well, because they're looking for an economically friendly quarterback who's better than
Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton, right?
Yep.
I mean, they've got a good offensive line. They've got a really good defense. They've got one of the best running backs in football in Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
They've got skill players. We saw them last year. Even though they had a bunch of guys hurt, they have great skill players. So you could kind of one stop and play. They just can't afford. They're in cap trouble. They can't afford to have a huge cap number, but they also can't afford to give away a ton of cash either. See, this is a cash issue. How much cash are you willing to give the player? He's due to make $40 million. He's due to make $120. That's a lot of cash. It's not the cap number, it's the cash. He wants to increase his average per year cash with a guarantee.
Is the market right for Carr outside of the Saints? What are you hearing?
Well, I think he wouldn't be requesting this
if it wasn't.
But I think he also would be requesting this to then see if he could. What you want to be able to do in free agency is to create the illusion of having 2 teams competing for you.
Okay.
It's an illusion. It's really an illusion. So if I could get the Giants say I get the Jets and Tampa thinking they're in competition, then I can raise my deal. When in fact they're not really in competition. When you accept the trade, you've almost got to accept the terms of the deal. So he's trying to create a market. And Carr has a very good PR machine out there where he'll get his story to people out there to make it look like he's got a lot of leverage. It's great agency. It's what you want to do.
You know his agent?
I don't know him, but Palisaro, Rappaport.
Oh no!
Guys,
you're right.
They're all in tune to it. I mean,
he's got good PR.
Well, he's telling them what to say, and the gullibility of the media, they just write what he says.
Because they want the relationship too.
Nobody takes it the second step. Nobody says, "Here's why he's doing this." Because I don't have a skin in the game, so I can say it, right? Where Palisaro, those guys aren't going to say, "Why is he doing this?" Because they want to be able to come back to it.
It's very important for fans to understand and bettors to understand. When you see Ian Rappaport break a Ron Rivera story, understand that Ron Rivera breaks stories to Ian Rappaport. There's relationships that are built.
It's all give and take. It's everybody's rubbing each other's back.
Give and take, yes.
And I'm not, that's the system.
That's just the way it is.
That's the way it is. The same thing happens in politics. You think those women and men that cover the White House aren't getting fed stories by people that want to put their story out there? I've been scarred. I've worked 10 years for Al Davis. I was trained to hear a story and then think, why is the story out? I don't read a story and say, oh, that's true. I hear a story and say, who's putting that out and why? Because that's what I was taught.
Right.
I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but I was taught
Or paranoid.
that.
You're not paranoid. This is the way it works.
I was
There's
taught
layers
this.
to every story.
Like if I said to him, "Hey, I hear the Chiefs are doing this," he would rip me and say, "I don't care what you hear. What do you know?"
Right. That's interesting. You went to the school of Al Davis. That's
Counterintelligence.
Counterintelligence. Shout out to Lee Harvey.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.